Hello, all. We are on day 64 of Award Season Review Season 2, and it is I, Cinephile Mike, your friendly neighborhood cinephile. And guess what? It's day 64. We are two-thirds of the way done with our season. We are only 32 days away from the 96th Oscar Awards when this season will end. And this week is all about, again, the BAFTAs. Yes, it is BAFTA week, and today I am discussing Neon Film's Ferrari. Written by Troy Kennedy Martin and directed by Michael Mann with his first feature film in 8 years. Well, it had a rather disappointing box office take with $18,474,843 at the domestic box office and $19,130,793 at the international box office for a total of $37,605,636. Not great, just a little bit more than a third of its $95 million budget. Ugh. But award season wise, on paper, everything should have worked here for this film, as Ford versus Ferrari did a few years ago, but not to be. Now, it was named one of the top films of 2023 by the National Board of Review, and the film was also shortlisted for 5 BAFTAs, including cinematography, costume design, makeup and hair, production design, and sound. It only landed the nomination for Best Sound. Also, for a while, many felt that Penelope Cruz was going to be hearing her name come Oscar nomination time for the 5th time because she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress at the Gotham Awards and is also nominated for that category at the SAG Awards, but didn't come to pass for the Oscars either. In fact, of the awards that I've been tracking, the Best Sound at the BAFTAs is the only one this film really received tech-wise. And the nomination for Cruz, it's a bit tough given the category, but Cruz especially gives such a magnetic performance in this, which I'll talk about in a minute. I'm a little surprised this one didn't go a little further. And the scope of the race scenes during the Mille Miglia, I mean, that's usually catnip for sound and cinematography, but no. Now, for the Oscars, it did have 2 shortlist categories for sound and makeup and hair categories, but no. The other award it didn't get nominated for, which if I created, wouldn't be the first film I've nominated that though, is Worst Special Effects, specifically for one scene. And if you've seen this film, I think there's memes about it. It's not great. I mean, it's a very intricately shot scene, and there's a little bit of disappointing at the end. So the fact that they let that go, editors, mm. But I digress. The film. Ferrari now hones in on one chapter of Enzo Ferrari's life, the ill-fated Mille Miglia race of 1957. Minor spoiler here, but I won't say specifically why for anyone unfamiliar with the history. But the film, Ferrari, has the character played with the usual intensity by Adam Driver, dealing with the professional stresses because one, he's trying to get his team ready for the race, and his company is suffering financially. Not a great time for him, especially when there are so many others nipping at the heels. But also, his personal life is not doing well as he's trying to balance his strained relationship with his wife and business partner Laura, played with wonderful steely resolve by Penelope Cruz, as they are mourning the death of their son. And then he has his relationship with his mistress Lena, played with inconsistent accents by Shailene Woodley, and their illegitimate son Piero, who she is begging to give the name Ferrari. She wants Enzo to claim him. So, finally, moving forward, he is able to add an eraser to his team, a bright light with media attention, Alfonso de Portago, so he believes that if this goes well, all of those problems can be fixed and then maybe just focus on the personal. And then we kind of go back and forth between the personal life and prepping for this race. And then as we get to this climactic race and see how it all pans out, well, yeah. Now, without the spoilers, one thing that I want to say well about this biopic that it does great is that we don't get lost in a shuffle of hearing about Ferrari's entire life. We don't find out about his childhood. We don't, go to death. We focus on the main events of this year and how it played out. Any necessary back information on the lives of our characters that we needed is provided in dialogue in a way that doesn't detract from the story or provide, huge, copious amounts of exposition. It's worked seamlessly into the conversation. Martin's screenplay is very tight, and even at times when the film may feel a little slow, there's just enough happening to keep us engaged. And as I said, this is also emphasized by the incredible performances by Driver and Cruz. Their fireworks give some of the most exciting and tense showdowns that are just as comparable as the race scenes that we get to see in the film. Not so much Driver, but lack of recognition again. I'm going to say for Cruz is a bit disconcerting. This film could have easily become about him in the race, but there's a nice balance, and we actually get a character driven story. I also have to say, I'm not going to harp anymore on the nominations that it did not get. The BAFTAs hopefully will recognize it because the sound, it's great. The race, I mean, the cinematography also. Look, I can't remember the last time a race film really had me sitting on the edge of my seat. Kudos to Eric Messerschmidt for his work on this. It's the sound team, his cinematography, it's good. Ferrari is a solid 4-star biopic. Come for the performances, well, save Woodley, again, sorry, uh, and stay for the race. Now, if you would like to catch Ferrari, make sure you wear your red. You better run fast. Just kidding. It does, as of this recording, have a few theatrical screenings still happening and is worth seeing on the big screen. Or at this time, you can rent it on demand. There is no streaming information about the film yet, but chances are, as with most Neon films, there is at some point going to be a release date on Hulu. So, there we have it. BAFTA Week is going strong. As always, if you like here, please subscribe to my channel and spread the word. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and Letterboxd. There's so much more award season goodness to come. I'm getting so excited to do some of that, but you got to stick with me. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. But until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.